Most health coaches do not struggle because they're bad coaches. They know about health, they know about coaching. They struggle because nobody taught them how to attract clients and what actually works. So, what do most coaches do? They look around, see what others are doing, stress over content, what to post, when, where, how, endlessly. They dance on TikTok, they make random content, they chase followers, obsess over algorithms, and hope somehow clients magically appear. And after months or years, they're exhausted, burned out, overwhelmed, still barely making any money. And the worst part, they start believing maybe I'm just not cut out for this. But that is almost never true because attracting clients is not about being the loudest person online. It's about getting crystal clear on solving a real problem for real people. And then also being able to articulate what it is that you do in a way that your ideal client can hear it. And once you understand that, everything changes because I've helped health coaches go from 0 clients, 0 audience, 0 followers to multiple 6 figures without paid ads, social media, hamster wheels, or becoming influencers. One of our 6-figure health coaches, Connie, does not even have a social media account. And in this video, I'm going to show you the exact shift that changes health coaches from feeling invisible to being in demand. Now, in the last video, we talked about building a business model that's not going to burn you out. We talked about offer series, sustainable scaling, client transformation, and why the wrong business model creates exhaustion. But now we need to answer the next question. How do we actually get clients, attract the people? Because you can have excellent credentials, a fantastic program, and your dream website and still have no clients. And this is where most health coaches get stuck. Most health coaches think client attraction means post more content, and fingers crossed. But content without clarity is confusion. That does not lead to clients. Clarity is prosperity. I say that all the time because the real issue is usually this. You're trying to speak to everyone. And when you speak to everyone, you speak to no one. The goal is not to go viral. The goal is to become the go-to person for one specific problem in your area of expertise so you can stand out from the crowd. That changes everything. And in the world of AI, with fake content everywhere and superficial quick fixes that don't really work, someone with a real problem needs a real solution. And if you know how to help that person get results, that's the key story that you need to share and to be able to deliver real results. Share those stories, share your real truth in a way that your ideal client can hear it. For example, Connie, our 6-figure health coach that doesn't even have social media, no Instagram, no TikTok, no dancing reels, she still built a 6-figure coaching practice. How? Because people trusted her. Real people got real results. That's attractive. And then people referred other people to her. In fact, she has 4 generations of clients. Imagine that. One person was so impressed that they referred their child, their parent, and even their grandparent to her. That is client attraction. Now, most coaches live over here. If we look at this supply and demand, most coaches live over here. They've got very little demand. Nobody's really asking for their services, and they can supply lots. They've got high capacity. You could take on more clients today. You've got room. And what happens is when we've just got this little bit of a demand here and lots of supply, that leads us to chase after clients, and that leads to struggle. Not fun. And so if you have more room for lots of clients and hardly anyone wants in, you start chasing, you start convincing, hustling, over positioning, over explaining, and feels exhausting. But when you become specific, which is what we teach our coaches, and you help a specific type of person solve a specific problem, the dynamic flips. Now there's more demand, more people wanting in than capacity. So now we have high demand limited capacity. So now we've got all of this demand, but a limited capacity. Now instead of chasing, you get to start to choose who you want to work with, and you tap into the ease and flow of it. So this changes your energy completely. This is supposed to be a smile. This changes your energy completely. Client attraction becomes so much easier when your clients get excellent results, because results create referrals. Another one of our six-figure health coaches, Sherry, had one client refer 10 more. 10 more clients. 10. That client literally became more valuable than an entire marketing department or ad agency. And that only happens if you deliver excellent results. So excellence is our strategy. You're going to hear me say that over and over and over again. Excellence is our strategy. It's a really good one. And that's what I teach our clients at THPA. This is about working smarter, not harder. And you can do that too. So focus on delivering excellent results in your zone of genius, expert niche, and you're off to a great start. You can literally attract clients even without Wi-Fi. Now, another huge issue today is we're living in a trust recession. People are skeptical, they're overwhelmed, they're guarded. There's just so much noise online, they don't know what to believe. So people are not looking for another influencer. They're looking for someone who is real, who understands them, who can help them, someone they trust. And this is why most content fails, because most content is generic. And people already know that. The problem is they don't believe you understand their problem specifically. As I always say, clarity is prosperity. When you know exactly who you help and exactly what problem you solve and what transformation you deliver, your marketing becomes dramatically easier, because now your client says, "Oh my gosh, that's exactly what I need. They're talking to me." And they start coming to you asking for help. And by the way, if you're like, "Oh my gosh, she's talking to me, that's exactly what I need," I just started hosting free small group trainings, and we customize the strategies specifically to you. So if you'd like customized help with your niche, your messaging, your client attraction, your offer, your roadmap, there's a link below where you can apply. And if there's a spot available, grab it while you can. All right, let's keep going. Now, can social media help? Absolutely. But social media is a tool. It's not your business model, not your full-time job. And that's where so many coaches burn out. They think they need to become content creators before they become a coach. No, you're a coach first. That is what we're trying to do here. The purpose of social media, for health coaches at least, is not to entertain strangers or get likes. The purpose is to build trust and also to increase awareness that you exist, because they can't become a client if they don't know that you exist, and to highlight your understanding of the problem that your ideal clients are wrestling with, and share your unique perspective that allow you to get results for yourself or others. That's a huge difference. That's why I am a huge believer in educational marketing. And it can be a way to share your message. So teaching, helping, clarifying, helping people understand what's really going on, and what they don't know and what's actually possible. Because many people are, as I've shared in previous videos, unconsciously incompetent. They don't know what they don't know. They may think fatigue is normal and weight gain is normal and aging, anxiety is just life, and burnout's inevitable. And your content helps them realize, wait, maybe this can improve. So your marketing, can be right in here to help them know what they don't know. That's attraction. Now, one of the simplest things that can change everything, and how I built my six-figure health coach practice before there really was social media, was something that I call your power statement. Now grab a pen because I'm going to show you how to create yours right now. So one thing I know for sure is that sometime this year, somebody is guaranteed going to ask you, what do you do? Or what have you been up to? And you want to have an answer for that question because we know it's coming. So most coaches make the mistake of doing a run-on resume of things they've done. They say things like, well, I used to be a nurse and then I studied Reiki and then I became a massage therapist and then I learned about nutrition because I really want to help people on a deeper level. And then I went into and I studied about toxins and foods. And did you know about gut health? And on it goes. And quite frankly, the person is sorry they asked. But one of the keys to attracting clients is to be able to articulate what you do in a way that your ideal client can hear you and will lean in and say, oh my goodness, this is exactly what I need. So when health coaches started coming to me years ago asking for my help, and when I started the Health Professional Academy, I needed a way to help health coaches articulate their niche in a way that their ideal client could hear them. So first, before you can attract your clients, you need to know clearly who they are. Who are they? So I walked them through our story gold mining process to uncover their purpose-driven expert niche. And I shared about that in a previous video. And you can also get a free copy of my book, Six Figure Health Coach, because it's also in there on page 31. I'll put a link below. And also be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel at Dr. Shaunna or on Instagram. Share this with other health coaches who may be struggling too. All of these pieces, I'm going to be giving it to you because we're on a mission to help this world be a healthier, happier place by empowering more health coaches like you to get your healing gifts out there. So be sure to like, subscribe, share this with your friends, ask any questions you have in the comments. All right. So once we have an idea of who your ideal client is, let's say nurses with IBS. What is their ideal client problem? And there can be many things that they're struggling with, but we'll focus on the top three that mean the most to your ideal client that they want to get solved. Not necessarily to you, but these are things that your potential client is lying awake at night trying to solve. So let's say bloating, brain fog, and fatigue. And then let's get the top three things that your ideal client wants. So let's say they want a healthy gut, mental clarity, and energy. And then I like to add on some bonus benefits they get when that is solved, and it speaks to why they want it. So then the formula for the power statement is I help ideal client with ideal client problem get dream come true so they can bonus benefit. So this could look like I help nurses with IBS struggling with bloating, brain fog, and fatigue heal their gut, boost their energy and mental clarity so they can thrive at work and at play. Now for bonus points, once you know your niche, and you have articulated your power statement so that it rolls off your tongue, then the next time somebody asks you, what do? You can reply with your version of I help ideal client with ideal client problem, get dream come true so they can bonus benefit. How about you? So notice what I did there. How about you? What do you do? That little question at the end that I added, this is going to make it feel so much easier to say rather than an awkward pause after a power statement. And if you made the mistake of making this statement be more like a paragraph and you start to sound like an infomercial and you feel icky instead, what can save you is keeping it really short. But also what we're looking for is what this statement is really like one word of what you do. So when people ask what you do, the response is usually a word or two, like teacher, doctor, nurse, lawyer. But the problem with saying health coach is nobody knows what the heck that is and why they would want one. So you'll probably get either a blank stare or a polite, oh, that's nice. But instead, when you reply with, I help nurses with IBS struggling with bloating, brain fog, and fatigue heal their gut, boost their energy, mental clarity so they can thrive at work and play. Well, how about you? What do? They're going to say, oh my gosh, I'm not a nurse, but I'm struggling with IBS. Could you help me? And voila, client attractive. Or they might say, I don't have IBS, but I'm a nurse and I'm absolutely exhausted. Nobody usually understands my schedules as a nurse. Could you help me? And voila, client attractive. Or they might reply, oh, my sister's a nurse and struggling with gut health and her energy. Maybe you could help her. And voila, client attractive. Now you have them coming to beg you for help. And as healers, We're excellent about showing up when people are asking for our help. We're not good at chasing people and spamming people. So the reason I coined the term power statement is because this is super powerful. I built my entire six-figure coaching practice from my power statement. And many of our early six-figure health coaches earning 100,000 a year have come through the Health Professional Academy. It was mainly because of their power statement. And that's why people can do this even without social media. Your power statement is a simple client attractive statement that clearly explains who you help, what problem you solve, and the result that you help create. Clear, specific, and that alone can start attracting clients. And as I say, that's how I built my entire six-figure practice when I was a health coach without paid ads or social media hamster wheels. So do you see the difference between that and why most health coaches stay invisible? Because they hide behind vague language, complicated explanations, certifications, or trying to sound smart. Clarity is prosperity. Now, one of the biggest myths online is that clients magically appear from posting content, but most clients actually come through relationships, conversations, trust, and referrals, not random virality. And this is why some of the best client attraction is actually human connection. Checking in on people, starting conversations, building relationships, genuine connecting, not spamming, real connection. And that can be online or in person, both work. People can feel when you genuinely care, and they can feel when you're desperate and chasing after them. Confidence is also client attractive. People want to work with people who know what they're doing. That's why you want to pick a niche where you're already naturally confident, because then you become naturally attractive. And then when you share what you do, and you share it clearly, that also radiates confidence. That's another reason why the power statement is client attractive. And you will start to see people coming to see you rather than you chasing after them. And you start to increase demand for your services. And you start to come over here to this side. So demand increases when people trust you, understand what you do, see results, hear stories of transformation, and that's how you shift from being invisible to in demand. That's why with your educational content, case studies, stories, and testimonials, why they matter so much more than trying to beat the algorithm. Not being able to articulate clearly what you do is one of the biggest reasons that health coaches find themselves being the best kept secret. They inadvertently are spraying client repellent all over, not because they're not talented, but because nobody understands what they actually do. So your job is not to impress people. Your job is to clearly state who you help with what. Shorter the better. Client attraction is not about thousands of followers. Most of our six-figure health coaches do not have that. And we have had people come to us for help with 20,000 followers and 0 paying clients. It is not about creating viral videos or fancy production. You need the right people saying the right message. That's it. If I were starting from 0 today, I would get crystal clear on my niche, create a simple signature offer focused on delivering real results, build trust through educational content, start having meaningful conversations, and focus on helping people and delivering excellent results. Not chasing vanity metrics, because followers do not equal clients. Trust equals clients. The goal is not to become famous online. The real goal is becoming valuable to a specific group of people. That's how sustainable businesses are built. Now, if you want help creating a client attraction system that actually works without paid ads, social media burnout, or endless content creation, I host free small group trainings with me personally. We keep them small and customized so I can actually help you figure out your niche, your messaging, your roadmap. So if that sounds aligned for you, there's a link below where you can apply. Now, once you start attracting clients, the next challenge becomes, how do you actually convert those conversations into paying clients without feeling salesy? Because most health coaches are terrified of sales and asking for money, because that's the next hurdle to solve so that you can actually convert those people you've attracted into real paying clients. Because just because you've attracted their attention does not mean they're clients yet. So in the next video, I'm going to show you our heart-centered diagnostic sales method that allows health coaches to enroll clients naturally, without pressure, without manipulation, and without becoming someone you're not. So I'll see you over there, and be good for you.